Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It is March 8th, 2021, and it is 8:30 p.m. Yeah, sorry, I know I'm a little tired. Just making sure we're recording here. It's been kind of exhausting. I took a really long hike on Friday, and I'm still exhausted from it in New Jersey. So this was, by the way, the sunset last night in Hicksville, and yesterday actually was a pretty nice clear day, and we actually had a decent amount of sunshine today too, with some cirrus, just a few scattered cirrus later on in the day, but I couldn't even go back for another hike. Maybe a couple more days to rest, because that was kind of an exhausting hike. The thing with New Jersey, again, is that you got to walk a long distance to get to the places you want to get to. But anyway, this is what the high-resolution satellite looked like today, and you can see not a whole lot of clouds out there. There was just some cirrus later on. Yesterday we had some clouds in the morning, but it was also a fairly clear day as well. So 2 nice clear days I wish I could have enjoyed. Now, of course, the junk is rolling in on us, but we may still have more sunny weather on the way. And hopefully I can get out there and enjoy it. And, obviously I hate, not being able to enjoy a nice sunny day, but, I just haven't been, I've had some stuff to do as well. And, it's just I just don't have the energy, even it affects things I like to do too sometimes, But anyway, looking at the current temperatures, we're in the upper 30s, and it was a warmer day today. You can see, though, West Hampton has already dropped to 21 degrees, of course. It's always a cold spot there in the Pine Barrens, radiating away, but for the rest of us, we're around 40 degrees, low 40s in the city. It looks like the Pine Barrens west of Toms River, not as cold as West Hampton, 28. So let's look at the high temperatures and the low temperatures today. I guess we'll start with the lows, because it was pretty cold in West Hampton last night. You'll notice it got down to 19. Let's see, where there it is, 19 degrees in West Hampton. So 19 degrees in West Hampton. Well, everybody else lows were in the 20s, so 24 at Islip, it's still some pretty cool temperature. Low got down to 22 last night. Carl Place was a pretty chilly night last night, because we did have the clear skies and light winds, which was perfect conditions for radiational cooling. But even the city got down to 26, so that's pretty interesting as well. Let's see what it was in New Jersey. Oh, looks like we got beat by the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. That's right, 12 degrees in those Pine Barrens. That's right, 12 degrees, believe it or not. So yeah, that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, that's what did I just do there? Okay, let's see. I'm very tired, so let's just get through this and show you the kind of area that radiates like this. We'll just go through these pictures really quick. You can sort of see where I was in New Jersey. This is where I was. So you'll see it gets really desert-like in this area that I was in, here you go. So these are some of the examples of, the kind of areas that you're in there west of Toms River. Just very desert-like indeed. It radiates like, almost reminds you of the dwarf pines a little. I just had to show you this area that I hiked in because it was pretty freaking amazing. No, I didn't take a video. I just wanted to take pictures of it, but it was pretty amazing. You can see, look at that. That's a desert, all right, but it's beautiful. Okay, so wow, that's why it got down to 12 last night. Wow, so they did beat us. But West Hampton is similar, so those kind of areas just radiate away. All right, I know I got sidetracked. Let's go to the high temperatures for today. So we did get into the 40s today, so close to average, a little bit below normal. 43 in Carl Place was the high, 43 in Farmingdale. It looks like 41 at Islip. Everybody pretty much in the low 40s today. We're still a little bit below normal. So normal high is supposed to be in the mid 40s. A little colder out east due to the ocean influence, I guess. 37 in Montauk. City got up to 43, and let's see how it was in New Jersey. Toms River, 45 in the airport. So it's warm during the day, cool at night. That's the kind of environment you have when you're in a desert kind of environment there. So let's take a look and see what's going to be happening with our weather now. And you can see we got this big high-pressure system over us here, and you're looking at this GFS. So this is providing us with nice weather. And the dry weather will continue. So first we're going to look at the upper air pattern. And you'll see that we're going to have this huge ridge starting to build in the east. Here you go. This is the GFS. So here's this huge ridge that's going to bring in some real warmth, especially as we get into Thursday. And then there's going to be a trough that's going to swing through on the weekend, bringing somewhat cooler conditions on the weekend. And then we'll have another ridge building again next week with the trough remaining kind of in the west, a couple of troughs passing through. But generally, that is what the GFS shows. Let's see what the Euro shows, because there were some differences. Let's go ahead and look at that. So here's the ridge on the Euro, and you can see this trough comes in and brings in some cooler air for the weekend, but then the ridge builds back. So let's go ahead and look at the surface now, surface map for the GFS. So you have this high pressure here that is now starting to build over the southeast. And so this is going to give us more of a west to southwest flow, more of a warmer flow coming in. The clouds that we're seeing are actually from the warm front. And we'll have that west to southwest flow. And then the high just kind of crests over us on Wednesday. We may actually have an easterly or an onshore flow bringing us some cooler weather. Slightly cooler, but then it gets warm again with that west-southwest flow on Thursday with the warm weather. And the next chance of rain won't be until Friday, but the models just don't seem to be generating a lot of rain with this cold front. And then we have a high pressure that's going to be building down for the weekend, for Saturday and Sunday, it looks like. So hopefully some more sunny and cool weather for those days, maybe even lingering into Monday, before the next chance of precipitation would come, which would be a week from tomorrow. But generally not a lot of precipitation until you get toward the later part of there might be some more opportunities for some storminess as we head toward the latter part of next week. But other than that, that's a ways off already. So let's take a look and see some of the warmth that will be building into our area. So let's go to the local map here, and we'll look at the temperature outlook on the GFS. And we'll show you how it's going to warm up. So tomorrow you'll see temperatures are going to be nearing 50 degrees on Long Island and probably into the 50s in New Jersey. For Wednesday, we're going to have a little cooler weather over Long Island with an east flow. So temperatures back off a little bit, mid to upper 40s. Still a nice day, a little warmer in Jersey. But even at the Jersey Shore, there'll probably be some cooler air. And then as you go inland, it'll be warmer. And then for Thursday, this is when the real warmth starts with the southwest flow. You will see the temperatures go up into, at least maybe 60 on the North Shore, maybe near 70 in New Jersey for Thursday. And then for Friday, we'll see more of that warmth. And it looks like there's going to be we'll have to look at the wind flow, but because that's going to kind of determine how warm we get. But it looks like maybe more of a westerly flow on Friday, so we may all be getting into the 60s and maybe even 70 degrees perhaps. Before it cools off again by the weekend, we go back into the low and mid 40s on Saturday, and Sunday maybe only around 40. So it'll be colder, and it'll still be cool on Monday. And then as we get into next week, we have another cool day on Tuesday, and then the warm air kind of comes back into the picture again. So you'll see that, and then another little bit of cool air. So we have a progressive pattern going on pretty much right now. So let's take a look at the winds. So we'll look at the wind flow, and we'll determine what the wind flow will be. So if you look at the wind arrows, you'll see tomorrow we'll have a west wind. So probably maybe a very limited sea breeze on the south shore, but probably not. For Wednesday, we'll have more of that southeasterly flow, so it'll probably be cooler. And then for Thursday, there's a southwest flow, so chances are there would be a sea breeze that would keep Long Island cooler. But Friday, those winds turn a little more westerly, and therefore that may mean warmer weather, less of a sea breeze on Friday, which warmer temperatures on Long Island, and then you'll see the northwest flow on the weekend there. We can also look at the dew points as well. So drier air, we'll see. I don't think we'll see any. The air is going to remain dry, which is why we're not seeing any precipitation and really not even that much in the way of clouds. We start seeing a little more moisture in the air come Friday with that chance of showers, but it's going to be very little, and then the dry air comes back into the picture for the weekend. So let's go take a look at the skies now, because that's the main thing we're forecasting for. It's just clouds, because there's not much in the way of precipitation at all. So looking at the GFS cloud map for tomorrow, you'll see we start off with those clouds, a lot of high clouds, and then maybe later on in the afternoon we get rid of them, and it'll clear out a little more. But for Wednesday, it looks like we'll see less in the way of clouds. That could be the next mostly sunny day. And hopefully we can enjoy it in the pines. Hopefully I kind of have the strength to go there because I'm kind of pissed I didn't the past couple of days. But it was also kind of cold too. You know, I mean, I like things a little warmer, I guess. Getting kind of in a mood for spring here, you know. I'll admit it. So it'll be should be sunny on Wednesday, and then for Thursday we'll have some more clouds around. Friday, some more clouds. Here comes this front for Friday and Saturday, and hopefully we push this front enough to the south on Sunday that we can get a clear day. I think we will. And then those clouds would probably try to get back in the picture again on Monday. Not going to roll the cloud forecast beyond that. We can also look at the NAM as well. This is, again, the 18Z run of the NAM with the sky. So let's go ahead and look at that. You'll see those clouds in the morning tomorrow. But then in the afternoon, it really isn't showing much clouds at all. So maybe a scattered high cloud or two, but otherwise plenty of sun. And then Wednesday, the NAM also has plenty of sun. Particularly over Long Island, so I think we would be having a nice day that day too, though there could be some clouds popping up later on, I guess, in the day, perhaps. The NAM lately has been overdoing the clouds a little bit. Let's look at the Rgm Cloud Forecast as well. And this is the Rgm Cloud Forecast, and you will see here that for tomorrow, really, again, in the afternoon, we may have mostly sunny skies, and then Wednesday, looks like we could have also mostly sunny skies, so that'll be good, and it won't be as cold, at least, as it has been. I guess we'll go back to the GF. I want to look at a couple of other models as far as the longer range go at the surface. Let me go back to this and see if we have an agreement on the weekend as far as that goes. So I want to look at the ICON model. I don't know if that's going to go far enough out, but we'll look at that as well. So again, see that high building over us, dry. And again, very little chance of precipitation on Friday. It's going to be, but yeah, the ICON seems to want to develop a wave along the front and then brings precipitation on Saturday. That's as far as the ICON goes out. You can also look at the Canadian as well. And the Canadian seems to have a similar idea of maybe a little wave along that front, and then the high builds in on Sunday. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Hopefully we don't. Well, I mean, it's been nice actually, but it's been a little too dry. But you know what? Dry is good for the pine barrens, all right? More fires, that's... Oh, speaking of fires, that's the other thing I want to show you on this. If you look closely, you can see some smoke over New Jersey. This has to do with controlled fires that they set in the pine barrens there. So yesterday they were doing a decent amount of them, and I believe today they were doing some too. So if you see that little smoke there, that's what that's from. Because in New Jersey they do controlled fires, so there isn't an out of control fire. So fire is important. It's an important part of the pine barrens, and it's best to have it done in a controlled manner versus an uncontrolled manner. So that is good that they're doing that. Of course, we don't do that on Long Island. We get the out of control fires as well. So I think we looked at the Canadian, or we already looked at that. Okay. So a couple of other models that I will look at as well in regards to our next chance of precipitation and the skies. We will go ahead and look at the European model with the skies. So as we go into tomorrow, you'll see some clouds to start, and then clearer skies for tomorrow. And this also shows the temperatures too. We can actually get a better resolution with the temperatures to show you what's going on. This kind of shows the wind flow, which is why I want to use this. So we can see if there's a sea breeze or not. It doesn't look like there is a sea breeze tomorrow, but I would expect that there will be one. But you can see it has a 61 over Toms River, 53 at Islip. And you can see that northerly flow at night, we drop into the probably upper 30s. And then for Wednesday, this is Wednesday at 1 p.m., you can see we have a southeast flow. So it keeps Long Island a little cooler in the 40s. But it'll even cool off the Jersey Shore. But inland in Jersey, you'll be warming up probably quite nicely in the 60s probably. But for Long Island, I think it'll be a little cooler with that onshore flow. Let's take a look at the cloud picture on Wednesday. And it looks like it's fairly clear. So look at it's fairly clear. The clouds are mainly inland. And another thing that you can also use to predict cloudiness also is if you go ahead and you look at go to the temperature part here and you look at humidity. And let's say you're forecasting for high clouds, all right? So this is one way you can do this. You go up to the jet stream level, all right? So I'll show you this. Like we'll do 300, all right? So you see that there's this orange color, which is dry air. The blue is more moisture air. So again, it has us in the orange color, which means there wouldn't be many high clouds. But if you go ahead and you look at today, for instance, all right, you'll see that there was bluer in there, and that meant more high clouds moving into the area. So this is one way you can predict high clouds and also predict the formation of annoying contrails, which we saw a little bit of this afternoon. So, because you can have no mechanism to form clouds, but if the humidity is high aloft, you'll have the contrails. But again, Wednesday, I'm leaning toward hopefully a dry upper level, dry at all levels. So hopefully we get a clear sky on Wednesday. Get back in the Piney Woods. Hopefully by then I'll be up to it once again. Again, just that walk going all the way to west. That had to be at least it's like 5 miles each way there, plus the hike that's going on in there. Plus I got lost. So, I didn't get lost, but I went on the wrong trail. All right, let's get back to what we were doing here. All right, so go back to temperatures here. Oh, yeah, I go back to the surface, of course. Back to the surface temperatures. Okay, so you'll see that onshore flow on Wednesday. So let's go to Thursday. All right, so you can see Thursday, you really got some differences going on here. And again, you can see that wind arrows keeping Long Island. I think there'll be a sea breeze, so we'll probably be in the 50s. But Jersey, you're going to be in the mid 60s, maybe even a 70-degree possible on Thursday. And then Friday, we look at the wind and it's more westerly, and it has 64 in New York. So it has ice up to 52 though. So I'll have to see. There's still maybe a sea breeze on Friday. It's kind of hard to predict the sea breezes. That makes a big difference on Long Island. But if there is a sea breeze, chances are we won't see 60 unless you're on the north shore of western Suffolk or Nassau County, or in New York City, particularly northern part of Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx. But you'll see what happens Saturday. The colder air comes in here, and temperatures drop back into the 30s. Now, let's see what this has for clouds. Actually, this clears us out by the afternoon, so that's some good news. And then we're clear again on Sunday. So hopefully we get a nice weekend on tap. But it will be cold once again. But it won't be as cold as it was this past weekend. It'll probably still make 40 degrees, but it'll be cooler once again. But, let's hopefully get some sunshine and more clear skies to enjoy. I know I had 2 great days, and I should have been in the Pine Barrens. I'm kind of disappointed I just couldn't do it, but I just couldn't, couldn't face it. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Wait, one more thing that we want to talk about here that we didn't do in the last weather update that I want to do. We want to do actually a couple of things. Let's go to the Climate Prediction Center and look at the 6 to 10 day outlook and the 8 to 14 day outlook. And it looks like on this you'll see that it has below normal and much below normal in the middle of the country once again. We're close to average on the temperature. If you look at precipitation, slightly above average. And then the 8 to 14, a similar pattern with the below normal in the middle of the country, and both coasts near normal, and maybe a little bit above normal in the southern part of Florida. Precipitation just a little bit above normal, pretty much near normal for us, with the below normal in the middle of the country. The other thing that we got to look at here is state of the ice. So let's do that. Get the latest ice report here from the North Pole here. They still don't have any. The last update was February 2nd. All right, well, we can look at the map here, and you'll see the blue line, which is this year. We are as at minimum. We're below all these lines, which means we are at minimum sea ice extent. The sea ice extent is the lowest it's ever been at this time in recorded history. So that's another sign of climate change here. All right, here is a map, and you can see again the sea ice, which is below normal in a lot of areas. This whole area in particular here, usually you see a lot more sea ice. You're not seeing much sea ice. The Great Lakes are supposed to freeze over. They don't freeze over anymore. There's also a lot less sea ice on the Russian side, too. It's very thin. So, again, very concerning. Could this be the year we have a blue ocean event? We're going to come close. It's going to happen in the next 5 years, I think. I really do expect it. So don't be surprised when it does happen. But that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.